Hello. Live from the condiment cupboard. I used to all my lives in here. It's perfect height. Is there anybody on yet? Welcome to the water talk. Now please do share. Because it makes a big difference. Who have we got? Who have we got on gold? Julie Roberts! Oh my God, she's got a gold. It's her first ever. Do you know what? She'd never had a medal and she got a bronze yesterday because we're having in the monthly membership, we have a monthly meet up on Zoom and there was about 50, 60 of us on. And the Jane Gamper's on who gets golds just for fun. And so she just gave a tip because Julie said, how do you get a medal? I've never had a medal. She bags a bronze yesterday and then she comes and bags a gold. She'll be absolutely doing a happy dance. Marie Pritchard, she's got a silver. And Tina, good morning to you. You've got a bronze. Never mind, Michelle, number 4. Well done for showing up. Morning, Jill, number 5. And Michelle, now we've got a couple of Michelles in. So, lovely. Please do share it. Kate Hyde's got the platinum medal for sharing it. Thank you. Morning, Alvine. Let me drink. Oh, look, second glass today. I'm not doing that to prove a point. I'm just drinking it because it's water. So, good morning, everybody. Jane, did you have a line this morning, Jen? I bet you wish you'd never given your little tip to Julie. For people just joining us, the medals are completely fictitious nonsense. I started it by accident a couple of years ago. We've done it ever since. You know, people really do take it seriously. It gets competitive. Laura Thompson takes hers to Waitrose and wears them round her neck. They're just imaginary. I bet she's got imaginary friends as well. But she tells the checkout people about medals. It's the little things in life, isn't it? Morning, Gina and Laurie. So, let's... Oh, I love it. It's ace. Right then, please do share. We've got the water talk. So, I might just get Simon, because Simon's doing a sort of fact sheet. I mean, I remember learning about water at school, God, way back in the 80s. And I remember it was fascinating even then. You know, it regulates your body temperature. And I mean, I don't drink tea and coffee because I don't like it. I hate coffee. I can't stand the stuff. I don't even like Simon having it. I don't like the smell or anything. And I'm glad because it's nothing to do with health. Because if I liked coffee, it'd be like ice cream. I'd probably have a fancy machine and be having 10 a day. But what are you doing, Mayo? And I don't drink tea either. Certainly normal tea. I might have the odd cup of herbal tea when I'm really cold, but I forget. So I just drink water, and I always have done, but I've always drunk water, even when I was younger, and certainly before I started drinking wine. And I don't drink that anymore, obviously, as you know, but I used to drink water a lot. It's because the medals out. Is it because I do it so enthusiastically? I get a cheap thrill, though, to see who wins them, especially when it's a newbie, a new medal winner. Right, so the importance of drinking water. Now, first of all, when you ask any questions, don't take anything personally that I say. Don't take anything personally, don't take offence. But this isn't going to be a normal water talk. I'm just going to tell you really and call you out on a few excuses. But before we do, I might just wheel Simon in to share you a few boring facts because my talk doesn't include any facts. It just includes a why. Now let me see if he's free. Wait there. Si? Oh, he's here. Hello mate. It's only because he was doing it last night. I know you were doing it this morning as well, weren't you? Here he comes. Look at him. Say.
You mean look at me like what?
Right, so look at us, double act. So professional setup. So to encourage people, let you have your go first.
Try to put me on the podium, don't you?
So a few facts, a few boring facts, but but you might need them. Some of you might relate to this, so you don't have to do it all. So come on.
These are described as evidence-based health benefits.
Oh, I hope you deliver it better than that. I was going to be here all bloody day.
Well, I'm put off by the fact that you're next to me looking and
come
wondering
on.
what I'm saying. There's only 7. It helps you to maximise your physical performance. If you don't stay hydrated, your physical performance can suffer. I'm wondering what you're looking at.
No, it's all right, but...
And obviously it's important while we're doing exercise, the hits and everything, any exercise you do.
So I'll just put a little ad lib on. So improves physical performance. So it just makes you better when you're doing your fitness, and you'll be better at it.
If you're dehydrated by as little as 2%, it will have an impact on your physical performance. 2% is not a lot, is it really? But it's not uncommon for athletes to have as much of a 10% deficit in the water.
Right, we don't need all this technical information, just do your headings.
All right, it significantly affects energy levels and brain function.
Can you imagine? So when you're lacking concentration... Go on.
Right now, mild dehydration, 1 to 3% of your body weight can impair up to 40% of your brain functions. Next one.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. May help prevent and treat headaches. Drink it, and I'll just do the summary because that's all she wants off me really. Drinking water may help reduce headaches and headache symptoms. However, more high quality research is still needed in this area because there's a lot of evidence, but it's still patchy. It may help relieve constipation. What a great subject that is on a Thursday morning. I think that speaks for itself, doesn't it, really? It may help treat kidney stones. Poor Si, can't get a word in, bless him. Jeanette, I'd rather not have any words in this morning.
I'm being quiet.
Increased water intake appears to decrease the risk of kidney stone formations. This one's not relevant. Helps prevent hangovers. Typical man has to go to the far end of it. Yes. Hangovers are partly caused by dehydration. In fact, most of the cause, even when we used to drink and used to have hangovers, it was to do with dehydration.
When I used to drink, I used to force myself to drink 2 pints of water to counteract the at least 2 bottles of wine I'd had on a night out.
And that is one of the recommendations.
And you still wake up like your mouth's been carpeted.
Yeah. And the last one that I'm going to give is a nice one. Can aid weight loss. In one study, dieters who drank a half a litre of water before meals lost 44% more weight over a period of 12 weeks than dieters who didn't drink water before meals.
Right, I don't know if I'm that impressed with those facts. I think you need to... What about regulate the body temperature? That's really important.
You only asked for a few.
And also
more.
Yeah, but kidney stones, I mean... And also another one, it flushes out the toxins. It really does. Now, that's just some facts that you get. If you're expecting that sort of water talk, that's what you could have had. But thanks, Si, for highlighting because when you go and look on the internet, this is the sort of stuff you get. I'm not surprised you're not inspired to drink it, because people think, well, I'm not going to get kidney stones.
There's not a massive amount of research into water because there's not a lot of money to be made by anybody. So it's a difficult subject.
It is, well, people can't make money on it really. So, but I'm not even bothered about the research. I'm going to give you my research now.
Where's that research based on? Is that just in your
It's
head?
based on my opinion.
Right.
That's what this research is based on.
I think I'll go now then.
But thank you.
Do you want me to find some more?
Well, regulate the body temperature and flushes out toxins.
Just make those up.
No, well...
Right, okay, off you go.
Do you know, this is for... He's putting these facts in the membership. And they'll all go to sleep. Thank you, Si.
I'll aim for 20 by the time I finish.
Oh, you don't want that many. Bloody hell, the board as it is.
9.
Right then, here we go. So that quite often when people tell you to drink water on page, that's the sort of stuff, drivel quite frankly, they'll come out with. I mean, it's not. I'm being obviously cheeky and a bit tongue-in-cheek because they're good facts. But it's not going to... It's like, say, eat less, move more, you'll lose weight. Well, no shit, Sherlock, I know that. I'm not inspired to do it, though. So, hopefully I'm going to give you a bit of inspiration and motivation now to drink water. Right, why I feel it's so important. Now, if you're on my email list, you'll have had a little bit of the water talk, because when you go on my email list, you get an email every week for 6 weeks, as well as my Friday email. Just a bit about... what I believe in. And there is a water talk. Remember, I did it in Ruth's stairwell. A professional setup. People going past me. So, I've forgotten what I was going to say. So, yes, you might have heard a little bit about it. But there's three things, if you're wondering how to get healthier or how to feel better, there's three things that I think are the top three non-negotiables, and it's exercise, water and sleep. Now, what order do I put them in? Obviously, sleep is so important. And so, you know me, you'd think I'd say exercise is the most important. Well, it is. Water, it could be the most important. But the reason I put water as the number one thing first is because it is the easiest to rectify. It genuinely is. If you've got insomnia or you're menopausal or you just don't sleep well, it's harder to rectify. And I feel for anybody who has insomnia or just can't sleep. Sorry, let me let the cat out. Because it's hard, it really is. And I'm lucky I get to sleep really quickly and I sleep well. Very occasionally I don't sleep well, but it is harder to sleep. Exercise, you know how much I believe exercise is so important for your physical health and more importantly your mental health. For me, it's my nature's finest antidepressant. And so I'm always encouraging people to move. But again, it can be a big old effort for some people because they can't be arsed and they might feel a bit down. They don't want to do it, and going and getting changed and doing a HIIT session, going out and putting your coat on and going out for a walk for half an hour. It all takes time, but it is so, so important. So that is why I put water at the number one thing you can do right today without any preparation, without any foresight, without having to convince yourself, without having to cajole yourself, without having to talk yourself off the sofa. You can still do it while you're sat watching Columbo, is drinking water. And let me show you how to do it. And repeat several times through the day, and that is it. That is easy. I mean, it is so easy, it is just insanely easy to drink water. And I cannot tell you the difference that it makes to your whole body, to your whole being, drinking water. Absolutely, it's all you do. You can do it while you're eating chocolate in bed. You can do it anytime, before and after exercise. I know, Chris, it's I had to do a health and safety report for that demo, you know, but Sharon's never had a problem drinking water. But you're in the minority, Sharon, because this is where it's going to get interesting, because the amount of people who have problems drinking water, I just don't get it. And this is where I'm going to start telling you. In no uncertain terms. So, yeah, people ask where my glass is from. And it's from, I can't say, is it Apocryphy in Edinburgh on Princess Street? That shop, Apocryphy, I don't know. It's from there. Hand painted, I do love it. But, so that is all you need to do. You need to drink water. But what are the excuses? Come on, I want you to ask the questions. I want you to give me the excuses that you've used and that you hear people use. Right, I want you to do it. Do what you do and don't take offence if I have a go. Drink water every day, yes, all day long. Do you drink tap water? No, I don't. But I would drink tap water. I'm not precious about it. No, sparkling water doesn't count. Get a grip and just drink the plain stuff. And do your research on the difference of sparkling water. So Gail's ready for a telling off. It's just some gentle encouragement, Gail. So the things you hear the most, right? First of all, I drink 2 litres a day, minimum normally. When I get really low, and I know when I'm getting really bad mentally, when I can't exercise, because like when my back was bad, for as an example, so before Christmas I had a back injury for a couple of months. I couldn't exercise at all, so I start eating rubbish, and when I start eating rubbish a lot more than I eat well, I even stop drinking water, and it's just awful. It really is. And I just feel, I go, and then I only wash every other day. I know it sounds awful, I'm just being honest, but everything goes to pot. But honestly, drinking water, you think of your basil plant on the window ledge. Honestly, think of your basil plant. And you know when you forget to water it, and peace lilies are the same, aren't they? The great plants are peace lilies. You walk past it in the office and it's like that. It's all dying. Literally, you give it water and within an hour, it's up again. But just think, it's so easy to get out of the habit of drinking water that some people, and it's really common, don't drink water. They just don't drink it. You know, they just do not drink it. Kate, it's up to you. I don't like it ice cold. I like it chilled though. Yeah, but Jane, you don't, right, all these things are coming in now, which is great. It's trying to keep up with them. Just can't seem to drink enough. Can't seem. Mary, you don't want to drink enough. There's no can't seem about it. You're so bland, I just can't seem to drink enough. Just say, so bland, I don't drink enough. Does diluted juice count? Right, this is where, I'm just going to say, bladder problems, I run to the toilet. Just drunk 0.5 litres. Do you know what, Sarah? She's just done half a litre while listening to me. You've only got another 3 to go in today to get your minimum. And don't go drinking 4 or 5 litres thinking it's better. It's not necessary. Billie Jane used to do the fizzy pop. Lemon juice and lime to flavour the water. Any thoughts about cold or warm water? I'll try and remember these. I need a wee all the time. Tricky out and about, and especially now, lose a shot. Yeah, whatever. Overactive bladder, whatever. Don't like it, it's cold. Yeah, whatever. Do you know what? You're going to be switching off thinking I'm rude. I was dreadful at drinking water, says Dan, in the past, so I downloaded an app on my phone to remind me to drink every hour or so. I feel better and I haven't looked back. Brilliant. I haven't got a filter. Well, you can get one, Emma. So true, but sometimes do forget. No, Christine, that's the most sensible comment I've seen so far. So true, but I sometimes do forget, which sounds stupid. It isn't stupid. People just forget. Occasionally, I will get to 5 o'clock and I'll drink the glass in the morning. I'll get to, I think, shit, I've not had any water today. It is so easy to forget, and that's because it's not a habit. So Gillian's up to 3 litres a day. I certainly don't think you need to go over 3 litres myself, but the jury's out on that, so do your own research. Right then, so we've heard a few of the things there. So don't take it personally, because you saying these objections are going to help other people. So don't take it personally if I'm having a go. I do drink water, but it's the wheeze at night time that wakes me up. Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to be with you in a second. It's hard when you need the loo every time you drink. Right, let me lay that one to bed right now. What people do, right, so now I'm giving you this talk. For the rest of the next 2 days, you might be drinking more water. And then what happens is you go to the loo a lot more, obviously. Think of your extra steps, and you go into the, I need a wee. And you literally might be going for a wee every hour, just little bits. But look at the state of your wee. You know, it's not bloody bright yellow and dehydrated. You know, it almost becomes, you know, paler. Doesn't have to be really pale, but it comes paler. And so that's a sign that you're getting hydrated. Now, of course, in the early days, you're going to go for a wee more because your body has to adjust. It simply has to adjust. But we don't give it chance. What we do is, well, not me, because I'm not in that category anymore. Bully for me, because it's such a habit. It's so important to me, is drinking water. And what people do is they drink it for a couple of days and they start drinking loads when they've drunk nothing. And they're going to the wee all the time. They go, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to the wee all the time and I need to walk, so I don't like it. So they stopped doing it. And they said, I tried drinking that water, but I just kept going to the toilet and it was really inconvenient. Especially I had to keep getting up from my desk at work and everybody was looking at me thinking I had an issue. I had to keep weeing in bushes. You know, when I was out and a man walked past and with his dog and saw me, and the fear of that, and I get all that, but give yourself time to adjust. Now, let me use this analogy. I made this up, I tell you, last year, and I love it. Right, think of not last summer, the summer before, when we had a repeat of 1976. Do you remember? And it was just amazing weather for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it was cracking the flags. And we've got at the front a bit of a sloping lawn, and it comes down to the house. And ours was lovely actually, because I watered it. Everybody had 1976 grass where it's like hay. but we've got a bit of a divot in the garden as well. And it hadn't rained for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it was so hot, it was just amazing. Everybody's grass was parched. It was like that colour. There was no green anywhere apart from our front lawn. And you see, that just shows, doesn't it, the power of water right there. You know, there wasn't a hosepipe ban, so I wasn't breaking any rules. Everybody else's grass, and then Mr. Green Thumb, when he comes round to feed it 4 times a year, he used to get told off by his customers saying, your food isn't working. And he'd go, but they don't bloody water it. You know, and he says, what a joy to come to a lawn that gets watered. We'd put the sprinkler on every other night. And it was just lovely and green. And that's what happens to us if we don't water ourselves. You know, if we don't keep hydrated, you wonder why you get tired and your laughter lines are more ingrained, and you do that and you can see all your wrinkles instead of being plump. I mean, I know I'm getting older. I'm over 51 now, so I'm going to have wrinkles. But my skin feels really healthy. It doesn't feel dry. Now, you imagine that grass, all that 1976 grass everywhere, the year before last when it was that long hot summer, and it's all parched. It starts to rain. Oh my goodness, the heavens open and it rains. What do you think happens to that water? Do you think that grass absorbs it immediately? No, everywhere floods. All the roads are flooded, the drains can't cope, because what's happened, all this rain comes and it just rolls off the rock hard ground, and it's all on the pavements and it's everywhere. And it takes a while for the grass to be able to start absorbing it. So it's got to rain a few times. But when the rain starts coming, because everything's so hard and parched and dehydrated, it doesn't absorb it. It just runs off. Well, let me tell you, that's what happens when you don't drink water. And then all of a sudden you hear a talk like this and you go, do you know what? She's got a point. She's getting on my tits, but I don't mind because she's got a point. Or you might mind. And so I'm going to start drinking water. Gary, can you get me a water bottle out of the loft? I'm going to start drinking water. She says 2 litres a day. I hate it, but I'm going to start drinking 2 litres a day. Do you think your body's going to absorb that? Not a jot. It's going to be in one end and out the other within 10 minutes. But you've got to keep with it, because literally within a week even, your body will then start to absorb the water. And it's when it starts to absorb it that it starts doing its magic. The basil plant absorbs it really quickly, so does the peace lily. But 1976 grass, after weeks and weeks of no rain, doesn't, and neither do we. So please don't use that excuse to justify your bollocky bullshit reason for not drinking water. You know, because that's what it is. But you're not on your own for doing it. So the people who've highlighted that point, a massive thank you, because you've said it and there's hundreds of other people who'll be thinking the same, and they genuinely say, I don't drink water because I can't cope with going to the loo all the time. And when it comes to at night time, just don't drink an hour or two before bed. Just stop drinking. I take that up to bed every night. I used to use a flask, but because I'm in the house all the time now, I very rarely go out, apart from a walk, I've gone back to using just a straightforward glass. And I take that to bed at night. It's half a litre and have it by my bed. And I don't drink it at night. I don't even drink it, even if I'm thirsty, I don't drink it just before I go to sleep for that reason. So when I wake up in the morning, I get up, I have some water, I do my teeth, have some water, I get dressed, do some water, I do my meditation for 10 minutes. By the time I've left the room, that's gone. So that's a quarter of my target gone already by literally 6 a.m. So that's the first objection dealt with. You go to the loo a lot more. So the comments stopped coming up, so I'll go through all these. I'll have a lot to go through, but never mind. Who I nagged drink water, he said... She has a point. I thought you were going to say she's an idiot, which should be more apt probably. Right, Bernie, I'm new to your group, but knew you drank a lot of water from your video yesterday. The whites of your eyes look lovely and white, even though you were having a bad day. Oh, thank you, Bernie. But I do drink a lot of water. People do comment, even though they do comment on my skin, and my skin everywhere is hydrated. You know, thing is, I still have rubbish hair though. No amount of thing will do that, but never mind. So another question I get asked a lot, I don't know if anybody's asked it, does tea and coffee count? Soon as I ask somebody to do start drinking water, instead of going, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do that, immediately they're looking for ways out of doing it. Does tea and coffee count? Literally, it makes me vexed. That's what it makes me, that question. Does tea and coffee count? I can't swear because there might be children on, but go and do one, love. Does tea and coffee count? My arse. What? Just drink the water. Why are you looking for ways to shoehorn it in? Common sense question. Look at that. Fresh, filtered water. And then compare that to a black coffee. Do you think it's the same? So don't ask me questions like, does tea and coffee count? Because no, it bloody well doesn't. Obviously, some people say you're still getting liquid in, but the diuretics, coffee has got full of caffeine, and apparently, this is just stuff I've heard, so you do your own research, to reset the levels for every cup of coffee you drink, you've got to drink 5 glasses of water to negate the effect of the coffee, it's dehydrating his coffee. I'm not saying don't drink coffee, at all. I'm not saying that. But don't have 10 cups of coffee and tea a day thinking you're getting your water intake in, because you're absolutely conning yourself right now. There's no other way to put it. There's no polite way to put it. Just drink the water. And in fact, I know in my membership, I told one woman and she didn't like it one bit, but then she came round to the way of thinking, because she says, Sally, don't care what you say, I just hate water and I'm not drinking it. I went, fine, don't drink it. I'm just telling you, but you don't have to take that information and do it, but you've got to accept that if you don't drink enough water, you're going to be more tired, you're going to be more irritable, you're going to have dry, parched skin. Think of your insides. Think of that basil plant and that 1976 grass going, water me, water me. We are 72% water, our bodies. So if we don't give it water, how does it work properly? How does it even begin to work properly? How parched and everything becomes, and what other nutrients does your body take from other places because you're not giving it the water? Let's just have a look. The basil analogy, it's so true. I woke up thirsty this morning, and I know I don't drink a lot today. I'll try drinking more, and hopefully the tiredness I feel during the day may go. Lathia, it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference to everything. But please, if you're starting on drinking more water, then know that you're going to be going to the toilet a lot more to start with. When I have my eyelashes done, obviously they need doing now. I have them done every 3 weeks. I just have infills and it takes about an hour and a half. But when I go back, it's a 3-hour appointment to have all the little extensions done. It's just my guilty pleasure. I very rarely wear makeup. I don't do a lot of other stuff, and I love having my eyelashes done. Then you get apathy without eyelashes, whatever. So I'm very aware. On the day I have my eyelashes done, I drink very little water in the morning before I go, because I get this psychological thing and think, oh my God, I'm going to need a wee. So I do. I just don't drink water the day I'm having my eyelashes done. Nothing wrong with weeing in a bush. So, obviously, if you've got something like that, like Laura says, she's got a prolapsing bladder. So when I go for my walk every morning, I can't drink any before I go to take with me. That's a completely different thing. And I do know people, some of my Nordic walking clients have that, and it just must be really difficult. So I totally get that, Laura. So there's not many people I'd say, do you know what, fair enough. But that certainly is fair enough. But a lot of people think they've got one, I think, the way they behave. So, but I couldn't agree more with that. So, other things, does tea and coffee count? No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely, just drink the bloody water, for God's sake. Why are you looking for excuses before you've even tried it? And that's what annoys me about it. People looking for excuses before they've even tried it. Just drink the water and seeing, how do you know? Do it for a month. What I'd love you to do after this talk is try drinking more water for a month, but you do forget. You can forget. And so the lady said before, get an app and put a little timer on, set one for every 2 hours. I just have this in the kitchen. Every time I come in, I drink it. If I'm going to go and work upstairs at my desk, I fill it up and take it with me. I know and I don't keep filling it up, you know, like people used to fill up your never-ending glasses of wine. I wait until I've drunk it and then I fill it up, so I know how much I'm drinking. So, and if you don't like it, don't even get me going. I don't like water, don't like the taste. Oh, it doesn't have any taste. It doesn't taste of anything. Neither does the air that you breathe. The air doesn't go, oh, unless you can smell bread cooking. Nothing, you know, that you don't go, oh, I don't like the air has no smell, so I'm going to hold my nose. Just drink the water, honestly. It makes the biggest of differences. Does cordial count? Just drink the water. Why? Just get used to drinking water. Because I want you to drink 2 litres a day, I'd rather you didn't drink 2 litres of cordial a day, whether it's sugar-free or full of sugar. Either way, it's all right occasionally, but don't get into the habit of just drinking shed loads of cordial. You know, if you want to flavour it. I mean, I wouldn't even fanny about with this. And I did say in my membership the other day, because I was talking about them, and somebody said, you know, I said, you know, how do you jizz it up? And it was obviously a missed spurt, and it's use it up, isn't it? You know, and people saying, you'll see it in books, put fresh mint in, peel cucumber and some strawberries and fruit and put all that in. It's just a faff. By the time you've done all that, you could have necked half a glass. And in the morning, I do like to have quite a big drink to fully hydrate in the morning. You know, but of course you can do all that. You can put fresh mint. You can, you know, put whatever you want in it, as long as it's not a Mars bar. But I hate the way it's then seeps into you, or I hate the look of it when you do that. And that's just my personal choice. I'd rather just have clean, fresh water than having to go to... If you can't be arsed and you forget filling a glass of water up, do you honestly think you're going to be arsed filling a glass of water up, peeling the cucumber, shoving it in, getting some mint out of the garden, putting it in and doing all that, and it just goes all manky at the bottom? I'm not a fan, really. I just drink fresh water. So what was the other analogy I did? So if you've got any questions, hi, welcome Anne, Martin, big welcome. If I don't drink enough water, Tanya says, I get migraines through dehydration. Exactly, it's a massive thing if you suffer from migraines. If you're tired, if you're achy, if you do get migraines, no, my son does, drinking water can make such a difference. It makes such a difference. With something else that came into my head there. Hilary, I need to swap some of my tea for water. It can't be that hard. No, it isn't that hard. You just think it's hard. You really do. What's wrong with tap water? I'm not precious about tap water, so I will drink tap water, but we've got a virgin water filter. Let me just show you. We've had this for 2 years. You do pay monthly for it. We don't have a kettle. We've got a virgin water filter. And it's a boiling hot water, and it's cold water, cold filtered water on tap. So I just get my glass, shove it under there, and 2 of them trickling away. So, but when I go to a restaurant, I always drink tap water, and obviously have to give it you. It's a legal requirement. I very rarely drink filtered water, and certainly buying all the plastic bottles from the shop, I'm surprised it's still allowed, really. But no, so you will get some people who will say, don't ever drink tap water, it's really bad for you. And it's usually the people who say you must only ever have organic fruit and veg. Well, do you know what? In an ideal world, that'll be nice, but it's just not possible. So I don't have an issue with drinking tap water, but in an ideal world, it would be distilled water rather than even filtered water. But get yourself a Brita filter. Depends where you live. I must admit, when I come down south, I'm not a big fan of the tap water because I'm used to it here up north. But don't let that put you off. What do you think's better for you? No water at all, or tap water, you know? Levane does, I do half water allowance in the morning, half in the afternoon, so I'm not seeing all night, that peeing all out of it. Thank you, Kathleen. So any questions? I'm 66, so you are never too old to learn to change. Do you know what, Jeanette? That's wonderful. Thanks to you, my attitude to life and how I live it is changing dramatically. Jeanette, that's just fabulous. But we can get caught up in all these facts and figures, but they're boring as. You're not going to drink more water because I stand here and give you a sheet of facts of saying it regulates your body temperature and it flushes out the toxins. Yes, we know all that stuff. But think of the basil plant. That basil plant are your kidneys. That basil plant is your esophagus and all that stuff. And it's all getting dehydrated because you're not giving it water. You're just giving it coffee and tea and fizzy pop and monster drinks. I mean, you might not be. And you're not eating enough fruit and veg, so you're not getting the water in there. You're eating too much processed food. Just think of one of your shit eating days, how much water you're putting in your body. You know, it's just hardly any. So please just drink your water. Now, let me just fill that up again. Now, just a couple of practical tips, please. I use a glass at home at the moment, but when I'm out and about and I'm going out, I always take a bottle in the car. You can get, I love a chili bottle. I love my chili bottles, I think they're lovely. They're stainless steel. You don't have to, I got these presents. Stainless steel, I love them because they keep it cold for 24 hours and hot for 12. So I love a chili bottle. But I discovered these with the straw. I need to get a new one. I've had this for ages. I've worn it. I've used it loads, so I've got hiccups. Now, I know this sounds daft, but a chili bottle, you screw the top off, you drink. I might be at my desk and I put the top back on. The difference when I went to a straw bottle was just mad. All the children have got them. Now they use them all the time. And Joe said because he had a chili bottle, I got him one for Christmas a few years ago, and then I got him one of these. And he says he drinks so much more water using a straw bottle because it's just there all the time and you can carry it around with you. And it's full on, honestly. And they do the same as the chili bottles. You don't have to spend as much. They're about 25 quid a chili bottle. You can get stainless steel bottles from anywhere. Not all of them hold the temperatures though. But stainless steel is great to keep your water in. Now, I have used the plastic bottles with straw, not the single-use plastic, but the BPA free, and they have all the markings on, and they're great. One thing I would never ever suggest is getting the plastic bottles from the supermarket and using those. And never ever ever leave a plastic bottle in your car and then drink it the next day if it's been warmed by the sun and cooled back down, because that's really not good for you at all, because the chemicals from the plastic can leach into the water. So when you're travelling in the car, always take a stainless steel one, even better than the big water plastic bottles. It's always better to have the stainless steel. So that's just a few practical tips. But let's have a look. Wish I liked water as much as wine, but I'm giving it a go. It makes so much sense. Thank you. Bev, no need to stop drinking your wine. I mean, I personally don't drink anymore. I mean, I used to drink shed loads, I tell you, and I'd always drink a lot of water as well. It does make a difference to whether you're going to get a big hangover or not. But all you're doing when you drink a lot of wine, a lot of the water you drink is just negating the wine. It's not even bringing to a level playing field. You've then got to start drinking more water to get that hydrating effect. So anybody, just start drinking more water. It makes such a big difference. It really does. Some people like to filter. Yeah, and at least that's a great point. Don't judge yourself. Some people might I've got a fancy virgin water filter because Simon loves it because the hot water. Personally, it drives me mad because when I have to fill a pan up, it takes a lot longer. But I don't drink tea and coffee. But it's nice having filtered water on tap all the time. Pamela, that's a really good point. People realise, if you're trying to lose a bit of weight or you think, oh, I'm hungry, you're not really hungry at all. And people say this, try drinking water first instead and you realise you're not hungry, and it's true. But the thing is, when you're on one, you don't have to be hungry to eat anyway, when all you want to do is eat a bag of crisps and half a bag of Lindor balls. No amount of drinking water will take that craving away sometimes. No, I don't drink bottled water. I never buy bottled water from the shops. I can't understand why people waste the money. I just can't. But if you want to buy bottled water, I'm not saying it's wrong, But why go and pay for water when you just drink it out of a tap, or when you can just buy Brita? If you want filtered water, buy a little Brita filter jug for £10 and shove it in your fridge. So yeah, and all that recycle, you do see people round, neighbours and stuff with all the bottles of water. I couldn't be asked picking it off the shelves, putting it on the trolley, putting it back in my trolley, putting it in the car, bringing it home, putting it on the kitchen table and finding somewhere to put it, and then having to take it out to the recycling all the time. Although I did that with wine, quite happily. And then drink my water after it. Donna, yeah, you can tell people's faces who don't drink water. You can. Honestly, I just want you to experience how much difference it makes. I mean, I don't look 40. I think I look my age. I'm 51. I'm not bothered about looking younger than my age. I just want to look healthy for my age. And I feel I look quite healthy for my age. Even though I'm carrying a bit of extra weight that I normally do at the moment, that's because I couldn't move, because of my back and COVID, and I didn't adjust my eating, so I put a good stone on, but that'll be coming off. But I just want to look healthy for my age. I want to know that I'm literally putting all that stuff into me. I'm not having a 1976 parched body inside. That long hot summer of 1976. A lot of you remember it, because a lot of you are my age. Just that's what your insides are like if you don't drink water. So Julie, by all means, put a slice of lemon in. Yeah, I personally wouldn't have sparkling water because it's processed. It has a complete. I've forgotten what it is actually, because I know somebody told me once the difference why you shouldn't have it, and I've forgotten because I just thought, well, it's not relevant to me because I don't drink it anyway. I do occasionally. I might have sparkling water if I go out or something, but just because I don't drink, it just feels a bit fancier than water. But for your hydration and just for drinking it, I don't drink sparkling water at all the time. I know I'm lost without my water bottle. Sally, is lemon in water good, or is it just a myth? Do your research. I don't bother. A lot of people say I have hot lemon and water in the morning to realkalise you, but they say some people say it's an absolute nonsense. I actually listened to a podcast last week that said it was absolute rubbish, but then you listen to other people who say it's really good because it alkalises the body, and so I just don't bother. I just drink my water. I went through a stage of having a hot lemon and water in the morning that I hate having to sip. I want to do, when I wake up in the morning and I've got out of bed, I go and clean my teeth, I come back and I see this on my bedside cabinet. This is what to do. I don't just go, it's just in case you've forgotten how to drink water. So even if you do one thing, take a glass or a bottle of water to bed with you tonight, half a litre minimum, take it with you. And I want you to have drunk it before you leave your bedroom in the morning. So in the morning, when you wake up and you're a bit like dry mouth, if you've had a wine, your mouth, you'll be like an ashtray in your mouth. I will probably have half of it all at once. And you can feel it. And I get a little cheek through. I can feel it starting doing its magic, going down. And, I've not eaten anything all night and I can feel it doing its magic. And I think of that basil plant. But just think the complete opposite. If you don't do that, and how many people, be honest, how many people just don't drink water because you don't like it, it's not a habit, or you forget. And you can literally come down, the first thing you put into that glorious body of yours is a piece of toast and a cup of strong coffee. Well, thanks for nothing, your kidneys will be saying. I've looked after you all night, detoxifying you, and that's what you do. You put black liquidy shite in and a bloody half a loaf of toast that I've got to get to work on digesting. Where's my water? I just want to wake up. That's what keeps me going. I don't know who I'm talking to up there. I'm doing my role play to my kidneys. So that's what's my motivation for doing it. I imagine what my body is like in the morning. Do you ever stop and think what your body does? You see these programs on 10, it shows inside all your blood vessels and everything. I often think about that. That's what I use to motivate myself. I think of my insides and my left and right ventricle of my heart, and my heart having to pump all the blood round and to do the work of my muscles and my fascia around my muscles and my tendons and ligaments. Are they hydrated, or are they like dry bits of cotton, or are they like elastic bands? And I can control that by what I put into it. And if I'm going to give it half a loaf of toast and a coffee first thing without water, how are they ever going to operate at the best, at the, you know, the most potential? I mean, you know me, I love chocolate and ice cream, and I'll always have that, but get the good stuff in. So I'm going to end it about them. I'm sure there's things I've forgotten because I don't feel I've been as irate as I normally am. But I'll be honest, you've not asked stupid questions, which is great. Yeah, so start drinking more. Yes, no, will do. Can I have water and cordial? You can have what you want, Samantha, but I personally wouldn't have cordial, because if you're drinking 2 litres, that's 2 litres of cordial a day. Just get used to drinking water. And Samantha, so many people have asked that, because so many people do think, well, I don't like water, how can I? So well done for thinking, how can I work around it? But what I'd rather people do is just man up and drink the water. Even if you don't like it, you'll get used to it. And why don't you like it? What story have you been telling yourself for the last 30, 40 years that you don't like water? Do you have a bad experience when you were younger about it? Or that's why I don't like milk, being forced to drink that bloody warm milk when you're at primary school. Ugh. I hate milk, but I'll have it on my Frosties when I'm not eating well. But I couldn't just drink a glass of milk, literally. Ugh. But water, do you think, and we take it so much for granted, that we turn the tap off and we've got drinking water there? Now, I don't mean to end on a bit of a guilt trip. It's just a fact. We turn the tap on every morning and there's water, clean water that we can drink coming out of that tap. Do you ever take that for granted? Of course you do. Of course we do. I do. You know, I try not to do, but you do. You just get used to it, that it's there, clean water. And yet we faff and fanny around going, does tea and coffee count? Can I have cordial? Should I put mint in it? Because I don't like it. How many people in the world would even go down that route? They'd just be, oh my God, I've got clean water to drink. So just drink the bloody stuff, quite frankly, and see how you feel. And of course, if you want to go to the faff of putting fruit and half a butternut squash in it, if that makes you feel better, then do. You know, if you want to wean yourself onto water by having a bit of cordial, then do. But in an ideal world, I wouldn't do that. I'd just drink the water and be grateful and thankful for the most amazing thing that we can do for our health, and that is being hydrated. Because it's bloody marvellous. So I've talked a bit long there, 40 minutes, nearly 50. So I've got Sharon, loving this water talk salad. I do try to drink water, but do forget. Brilliant owning up there. I ordered a cheap drink bottle yesterday with the measurement on, so I actually know exactly how much I'm drinking. Great, yeah, they don't cost a lot, do they? And do it as a little, you'll go to bed chuffed. I mean, you will be weeing a lot more the first few days. For the first week or two, you will be weeing a lot more. Think of the extra steps as you go to the toilet. It's getting you off that sofa and it's getting you out of that chair. Oh, hell, I need a wee. And I can guarantee this is what you'll do. You'll be in the middle of Coronation Street a good bit. Oh, bloody hell, John. Bloody Sally's doing me head in. She's made me drink water. I'm dying for it. Just pause it while I go to the toilet. Have I missed anything? You know, I know what you'll all be doing, but be pleased. So then, when you go to the toilet to have that wee, instead of being pissed off because, oh, I don't like this water because it's making me wee, it's all about the effort. Think, oh, it's working. I'm obviously drinking more because I need more wees, but eventually my body is going to start absorbing all that. It's going to start absorbing it all. And that's when the magic happens. It really is. So, yeah, I bet you've all... I don't mind if you curse me when you're going for a wee. Diane Wilkie, great question. Absolute, just never. I saw something the other day, I'll read it out, about putting chia seeds in your water because it helps to absorb more. Do you think this might work? bollocky bullshit shite, I tell you. Chia seeds are wonderful. They're a really high source of protein. But yes, you can put them in water, but then it becomes like rice pudding. And so, yeah, they're great for you and it's a great way to get them in. But that's for the chia seeds. But don't use that as a tool for drinking water. If I put chia seeds in every water, I would be like the biggest blancmange walking round, because they swell to about God knows how many times the size of chia seeds. But they're great for a chia pudding. Chia seeds are great to put on your cereal, you know, because they're a really high source of protein. But I certainly wouldn't be adding them to your drinking water. It would be like drinking frog spawn, I tell you. So great question. I've not had that one before, Diane, and I wouldn't even put it in the silly category. It's like, does tea and coffee count? So, right, I'm going to go, but I just love seeing your comments. Right. Yeah, now, Michelle, good point. Michelle Mulholland, 2 glasses with each meal works a treat. Now, this is just my personal opinion. Now, I used to always drink with my meal. Obviously, when you go out, you do. You used to be there on the wine and the gin. So I don't drink with my meal at home because I'm hydrated in the day, because I'm hydrated most of the time. So the reason I don't drink with my meal is because the digestive enzymes, it can dilute them slightly. So either drink before or after, because all that, it's just some research I did last year. And the thing is, when you do your own research, you can research that, and then you can read another book that says the complete opposite, like people having lemon in the morning. So you've just got to be your own guinea pig. Be your own guinea pig. So if you want lemon in your water in the morning, do it. And if you don't. Or try both and see which you prefer. So Michelle, carry on having your glasses with your meal if that helps you. But maybe try, you know, having a glass half an hour beforehand and half an hour after your meal instead. Because to me, it makes sense. When I read that, I thought, oh, actually, that does make sense. I always used to drink with my meal. But the digestive juices in your gut and in your stomach need to digest that food. And to make it easier, if I was putting loads of water in, a pint of water with my food, I'm just diluting that, you know, that stomach stuff that needs to digest your food. But that was just my findings. So it's entirely up to you. Look at that. Sarah's doing a challenge for it. Just drink the water. Exactly, it is. That's all I said. I've been quite polite today because usually I'd finish on that. So stop faffing about. Stop bloody looking for excuses, looking for reasons, looking for fancy bottles, looking for fancy water filters. Just get up in the morning, fill a glass and drink the goddamn water. I've even given you another demonstration there. That's it. I'm on 1.5 litres already today. So that's it. I've been polite today because you've asked good questions. So I'll come back and come through them. That'll take me about 2 hours, but never mind. I'd love seeing your stuff. Let's have a look. I've forgotten how much I love your rants. Reminds me of the spinning classes. Oh, I do miss those, Anwen, don't you? I really do. So Sharon, never used to drink enough water until I found you, Sally, on the first lockdown. Now I drink it every day. Well, do you know what, Sharon? It is when people come into my membership, the tribe, we open it a couple of times a year. Forget the HIIT, forget people come, there's no diet plan, none of that. The first thing we get them to do is to be aware of the water and aware of the steps. And that's the only thing I want people to focus on. And it's incredible how you see people getting these habits and and then they feel chuffed with themselves. And then you want to start doing more. Then you want to start eating better. It's just such a knock-on ripple effect. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for staying with us. I can't believe it because I've gone on a bit there. And it's not scientific. Just think of that 1976 grass. Think of that basil plant. Think of your amazing body inside when it's been sleeping and detoxing all night. What's the first thing that even common sense tells you is going to serve your body to work well for the day? And if I can just leave you on that one thing, it's all about getting you to want to do it for yourself, not because I've just ranted at you to drink more water. I want you to want to do it. So in the morning, think about your body's incredible. It's been working all night. What's going to serve it better? And then go and have your toast and coffee. But please put water in it first and just see how you get on. All right, I'll see you more for Friday 15 exercises in 15 minutes tomorrow, 9:30, me and Simon. Please do share this video if you think people look at it and go, you're joking here, 55 minutes, I'm not watching that. But you could watch it when I'm out for a walk and something might just land. And if I can convince one person to make drinking water a priority, it's going to make such a difference to everything, I promise. All right then, lots of love. And I've just put the link on here if anybody wants to sign up to my email. I send one out Friday morning. Every morning I send an email out. Not every morning. Why did you say that? On a Friday morning I send an email. Just some words of wisdom. But I'll warn you, I write as I speak. Full of bollocks normally. All right then, lots of love. Have the most wonderful of days. Cheerio and just do your best. Ta-ta.